Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick time out and welcome you to the video. I guess it really doesn't matter because they just fast forward through the uh, content anyway and just get right to the picks. So anyway, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leads out for college football week 13, and of course, this is the Mountain West edition. But before we dive into some more free content here on YouTube, just got to quickly remind you once again that we're 4-1 in our last 5 Underdog tier package picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to access today's Underdog tier package pick, it's only going to cost you just $4.99. We also went 2-1 in our last 3 NFL tier package picks on that site as well. Now you might be wondering, why would I sign up for picks on Patreon where I can get them here for free on YouTube? And that's certainly a great thought, a great consideration. But just hear me out real quick. If you were to go out there and bet every single game that's on the board, side and total, like I do with my breakdowns here on YouTube, it's certainly not a winning formula for success. And as a matter of fact, it's a recipe for disaster. It's not something you want to go out there and do and bet every game on the board. I think they said John Gotti used to do that back in the day. He was a terrible gambler because he bet every game side and total. But anyway, the books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. Way too sharp with the numbers. The odds become massively more against you the more and more games you play like that. And to be honest with you, the bookies have so much more money than you do to be able to absorb that type of action. So what I do on Patreon is I break it down and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way, in a smaller sample size versus wagering on every single game on the slate, side, and total. Now, we do currently have over 750 members signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, once again, I'd love to have you. I think it's a great idea for you. And link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, guys, we have another Mountain West Turkey Day football game here for you. It's going to be in the evening, and I'm talking about New Mexico squaring off against Utah State, 7 p.m. Eastern start time on Thanksgiving night. The Lobos of New Mexico are -4 on the road, totals 53 and a hook. But despite their 4th straight loss this past week, 2 out of the Lobos' last 3 ball games were just one-score losses. They were highly competitive right in those ball games to the end. And if you throw out that Air Force loss this past weekend, where their starting quarterback was out, New Mexico scored 53 total points in their prior 2 ball games before that. Now, the Lobos have successfully covered the point spread in 2 out of their last 3 ball games as well. Now, New Mexico is gaining nearly 6 yards per play on the road, and they're rushing for over $170 a game when they travel. Now, it looks like starting quarterback Tavaka Tuioti should be able to go this Thursday. He is listed as questionable, but things are looking up for the junior quarterback. Just keep an eye on him, as I am expecting to see him play this Thursday. Now, Tuioti has thrown just 1 interception, and he's been sacked only 3 times. He's also rushing for 7.4 yards per carry, and he's the Lobos' 2nd leading rusher. Now, running back Bobby Cole has rushed for 255 yards and gains nearly 6 yards per carry himself. And this New Mexico defense on the other side of the ball, despite struggling significantly, they've forced 7 turnovers on the season. So kind of a bend but don't break situation. Really being opportunistic, kind of keeping the defense competitive here. Now, safety Jarek Reed has 3 interceptions from this Lobo secondary, 21 total tackles and a fumble recovery. Linebacker Brandon Shook has 37 total tackles and a PBU. And edge rusher Joey Noble has a pair of sacks from the defensive line, 24 total tackles and a fumble recovery. They're taking on a Utah State program who's scoring just 11 points a game, and they throw for less than 115 yards per contest. The Aggies are 0-4 straight up on the season, and they've yet to successfully cover the number. The Aggies are completing just 49% of their passes, and they've thrown for only 2 touchdown passes as well. Meanwhile, defensively, the Aggies are allowing over 320 yards a game through the air and over 200 on the ground. Now, Utah State has just 2 defensive takeaways through 4 ball games as well. Now, total-wise, Utah State's last 2 ball games stayed under the posted number. Meanwhile, New Mexico saw their last 2 straight stay under the line themselves, 6-2 to the under in their last 8 meetings with Utah State. Give me the New Mexico Lobos -4 and the under 53.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup. It is going to be on Black Friday. Wyoming, UNLV, 4 p.m. Eastern start time. Wyoming's -17 on the road, totals 50.5. The Cowboys